Today we're going to see how to operate the AM-5000. A very capable machine, touchless, up to 28 inches diameter wheel. Let's start to see the component of this unit. Here on the left we have a wheel lift, very functional, easy to operate with a just up and down pedal. Right here you can see for our heavy wheels assembly. We have a turntable here, new generation, so it's not a ring clamp, as you can see, it's a center lock. So how this operates, actually we will use this locking pistol. As you can see, we have a flat side on this, and inside we will have a slot. Basically we will insert this, of course our wheel would be sitting there. We rotate it until it falls in. After that, another quarter of turn clockwise. You can see this is now locked. With these two clips, we can lock the wheel down and then tie it with these two handles. This pin will go in one of the lug nut holes. That will keep the wheel from slipping. With this system, you will get several different cones. We have different wheel sizes and center holes. So this is the cone, the medium one that I use 90% of the times. For bigger wheels, we have, again, a larger diameter. And we also have solution for racing wheels and exposed spokes, so these will clear some of the exotic wheels. We also have a kit that will help us do pickup truck and dually, some of the big sizes where the wheel would be actually, the center hole would be actually larger than this. In that case, we can use this adapter with its cone and actually work on larger wheels. We have two pedals over here. This is my rotation. This is what I will use most of the time. 2-speed. You can see actually going from first to second speed very fast. And an inflation pedal. So from here, we can comfortably inflate our tire when we are done. But let's see how it works in practice. Let's load the wheel on our wheel lift. Up pedal. We'll bring it almost all the way up, lay it on the turntable, then always remember to lower your lift. As you can see, I'm putting that pin in one of the lug nut holes and manually center the wheel. After that, I grab my locking pistol, and again, I will rotate this until it falls in. See that it's actually locked in place, down with the clip, and now we can tie it. You don't need to go crazy over tightening this, because that pin will keep it from slipping. Now let's go on the actual tools and operation part. So this is my top bead breaker. This is one of the first things I usually set up. So as you can see, I have a top and bottom bead breaker. First thing I do when I set up this machine is to position the bead breaker based on the wheel diameter. So we will use this switch on the top right. This switch is a safety, so this way you can't accidentally move it while you're operating. So you will need to release the switch, and right now, as you can see, I can move the bead breakers. Both of them will move at the same time, and of course you should put it like 1-2 millimeters from the wheel. The closest you are, the easier it'll be to break that bead. Now remember, the bottom one is synchronized, so it will be in the exact spot, that same spot as you place the top one. Another great function we have at Corgi is this, which is what actually opens the bead breaker disc. And if you see actually in action on the machine, when I press this button, the disc slides right between wheel and tire. After that, I can start rotating and little by little start lowering my switch. As you can see, I don't hang on the switch. I just bump it once in a while. This will make the whole operation very smooth. Remember, if you have a difficult wheel or any tire, you should lube it while you're changing. We like to lube every wheel and tire, even when it's an old one that needs to be replaced. It'll be easier on you, it'll be easier on the machine. When you go up, the disc will release. We're going to do the same on the bottom. So basically, I will go up until I'm in contact with the tire. After that, I know I can open the disc between wheel and tire, start rotating, and even here, start going up little by little. break that bottom bead. Okay, the 2-bead breaker can be left in place because if you're doing a set of wheels, these are already adjusted for the next 3. Now we'll have to position the mount head. This switch, as well as the bead breaker one, controls it up and down. You can see you can actually start lowering that. The closer we are to the wheel, the easier will be to position. And now, as we did for the bead breakers, with this switch, we will use the bottom one. Again, there is a release valve that you will press. And then, as you can see, we can move this back and forth. This we will leave it a little further distance from the wheel. Usually it's a 3-4 millimeters gap. Again, this way we will not be in contact with our wheel. Once this is positioned, again, that will not be changed for the whole duration of the demounting process. Again, as you can see, the top bead was done. We can actually lower this. We have another function before we go that deep, which is this button up here. You will see how it affects the finger. By pressing this button, the finger will actually open up. You have to think, if you were using a pry bar, when you put a pry bar into the tire, you don't go in perfectly vertical, but you angle it. This will help you in the process of catching that bead. If you don't catch it, just by going down, you can always rotate, and that will help, again, the bead getting caught in it. After that, you release it. Now you see our finger is back to perfectly vertical. We can start raise. Now, one of the most important parts when you use this machine, you have to reach that red line and go past it before we curve the finger. That's how this machine is touchless. So the last control that we see here is actually this key control that I will turn and hold in position while I rotate. So if we go back to the demount head, you will see what happened when I rotate this switch. The whole system slides forward, it's not touching your wheel. We start the rotation in first speed normally, then you can go in second, and the top bead is out. At this point, you can actually, if you want, disengage it from it. We can go up with that system. You can even open the top bead breaker with that handle if you want to create more space. And now we'll remove the bottom bead with my bottom bead breaker. So with this system, I will start come up. Now the key part is that you keep the tire into the drop center at the opposite. If you keep it in the drop center, you will see that this disc has the space to come out. You can actually open it, so slide between the wheel and tire and start rotating. As you can see, your tire is out very easily. We're going to proceed to mount the tire. Always lube it up. Always important with new or old tires. What I do, put half of my tire on the wheel. Now on the head, if you see, we have this extension. By pulling this pin, I can actually lower it and it will lock in position. I don't have to worry about the distance because that was previously set up. I can just lower it here, go past. We're gonna mount the bottom bead now, not the top one. But basically this helps me keeping it pushed. And as you can see, with the lube, it will go in no time and no effort. When we do the top bead, I will simply keep going down with that. We have a bead breaker as well. Again, there, if you are too close to the wheel, you can always move it out a little. This will help you keep it in the drop center. So that's usually how deep you go, depending on the drop center. Then if it's a soft tire, you can always use your hand to push it down. But you have this wonderful device, which is the BPT, bead pressing tool. That is basically an extra guy there, ready to help. As you can see, the old system, the old tire slides in. We have 3 different points, none of them in contact with our wheel. No effort. I've done all this in first speed, just so you could see the whole operation. At that point, remove the tools, remove this, there's some lube, and at this point, we can inflate the tire safely locked to the turntable. we're done with that, you can simply counterclockwise unlock it, clips up with the old system. And if I want to use my wheel lift, right here, ready to be used, making my life easy.